Hey everyone, it's Lexie. So in today's video I'll be doing a book haul. So it's been a couple months since I've done a book haul. So these are the ones that I've accumulated basically from January until now. A lot of these were the book of the month picks that I picked out that my sister actually got me a book of the month subscription for 6 months. So some of these were those. Some of these were pre-orders I made like a long time ago, and then some of these were I picked up when I went to Half Price Books. So there's a good selection here. So without further ado, let's get started. So I'm just going to quickly start out with the Blu-ray, the single Blu-ray that I got over these past few months, and it was Frozen 2. I was so excited when this came out on DVD. I was so excited because I went to go see this in theaters with my brother, and I really loved it, and I definitely liked it a lot more than the first one, so I was really excited to watch it again. I did watch it, but it was when I was packing to go to Chicago, so I wasn't like really watching it, so I'm definitely gonna have to rewatch this soon. I really like it. I love how it deals more with the sister storyline, and I just love it. So next, this is one that I pre-ordered last year and it finally came out, and it was A Cold Trial by Robert Dugoni, and this is the newest book in the Tracy Crosswhite series. And I won't go too much into here because for crime novels I just like to kind of go into them not knowing too much about the plot, but the general like synopsis of the series: it follows a woman named Tracy who was a science teacher, but she decided to change her career path when her sister went missing and was never found again. So she decided to become a detective, and it kind of goes off from there and just the crimes that she works on in Seattle. So it kind of goes off from there, but I really love this series. It was one that I marathoned over the summer and I really loved it, so I'm excited to kind of jump back into this world. And the last one ended on such like a big pivotal moment for Tracy in terms of her kind of personal life, so I'm really excited to see what this next one has in store. So this is actually a book that my aunt picked up for me, and this is going to be the book that we read for our book club after we finish The Things We Cannot Say, and it is Us Against You by Fredrik Backman, and this is the sequel to Beartown, which was the Tales and Teacups book club picks for January and February, and I really loved it. I thought that book was really hard-hitting, and this one I think deals with kind of the things after the second one. I can't really go too much into here, but basically the premise of Beartown is that it takes place in this small town, I want to say in Switzerland, and they have like a very good hockey team, and everyone's convinced in this town that this will finally put the town on the map, like people will want to come to this town. And so after their semi-final match, the hockey players kind of throw a party, and there was a rape involving one of the girls and the hockey players, and it kind of goes from there, and it deals with like the kind of, you know, rape culture, victim blaming, and all that stuff. Like, it was very hard hitting. So I'm very interested to pick this one up and read this with my aunt. So these next three were ones that I picked up at Half Price Books. Me and my sister had a coupon and I did a big unhaul. So I actually, between like these books, I think I spent like $6 on all three books, including like my discount and then the coupon. So that was really exciting, but these were the books that I picked up. I picked up these two books in the Once We Were Brothers series by Ronald H. Balson. So the first one would be Saving Sophie, which I think is the second one. Karolina's Twins, which I've read already. So I think this is the third one. But essentially it follows these two people. One's a lawyer and the other one's kind of like a private investigator. And they investigate crimes throughout history, and kind of a lot of them deal with like World War II era, but it kind of goes off from there. So I read the first one, Once We Were Brothers, a couple years ago, and I really liked it, and I read the third one because my aunt lent her copy to me, which is Karolina's Twins, which I've already read. And so I wanted to, I have The Trust, which is book number 4, but I wanted to read this one because I remember when I was reading Karolina's Twins that they reference stuff that happens in here. So I was happy that I was able to kind of complete my little set here. And then in the summer I plan on marathoning the Inspector Gamache series by Louise. So every time I'm there I have like a list of the books that I need to get, so I always look for them because I usually can get them cheaper than what I could get on Amazon. So I don't even know where this one falls. I think this is kind of towards like the earlier books, or the most current books. So the next one would be The Kingdom of the Blind. So every time I go to Half Price Books, I always look to see if they have one of the books that I need so I can like marathon through them. So I was really happy about this one. So moving on to the book of the month picks. I skipped the January one, I'm pretty sure, because I think, yeah, I skipped January's. So moving on to the book of the month picks that I picked out, I skipped the month of January because I didn't really like any of the books there, but these two were ones that I was really excited about, and one of them was one that I already pre-ordered from Amazon, and it was delivered, and then I saw it was one of the book club or book of the months, so I returned that one to Amazon, so I saved myself $20 and I just got the book of the month edition of it, so I was happy about that one. So the February one that I picked was American Dirt by Jeanine Cummins, and this is actually the Tales and Teacup book club picks for March and April, so you still have time if you're interested in kind of joining with us. But essentially the plot for this one is that it surrounds this family that is growing up in a comfortable middle-class life in Mexico, but something goes kind of wrong and they're forced to illegally immigrate to America, and it talks about their experience kind of trying to cross the border and all that. But I feel like this one will spark a lot of dialogue, especially what's going on politically right now, and I think it'll be very interesting. The reviews of this have been very good, so I'm excited to see how this one turns out. And like I said, if you're interested in joining the book club, you have, I think, till April 25th, so you still have time if you want to go and pick this one up and join us. And this was the book club pick for March, and like I said, this was one that I already pre-ordered back in like November, and so it was delivered and I saw that this one was there, so I saved myself $20 because I just returned the other one, and I'm really excited for this one actually, and it is the Splendid in the Vial by Erik Larson. And I've read a few of Erik Larson's book in the past. I read in The Devil in the White City in high school, and I really loved it, and then In the Gardens of Beasts during my undergrad. So this is his newest release, and it follows Winston Churchill, his family, and just like their experience during the Blitz of World War II. And what I like about Erik Larson's books, they are nonfiction, but they're written in a way that's almost like a novel. It doesn't feel dry, it doesn't feel like you're reading a textbook. There's something that about his writing that makes like this historical nonfiction read come to life, and I really like that about this. And especially with The Crown, I feel like I have a better kind of understanding of Winston Churchill and just kind of the complexities of him, so I'm really excited to pick this one up. I might have to wait until after my exams in May to pick this one up, but I think this one will be really interesting. And like I said, this book, it may seem very big, but basically like these are all of the sources. So there's like, he is very good at kind of sprinkling in either tidbits of journals, like diaries that people wrote, or newspaper context to like give it some validity. So I really have been liking this one so far, like his writing style so far, so I'm excited to see how I feel about this one. And lastly, these I feel were the two like very big fantasy releases over these past few months. The first one is the King of Crows by Libba, Bray, and this is the fourth and final book in the Diviners series. And basically this novel, or like this series, takes place in the Roaring Twenties in New York, and it follows a group of people known as Diviners, and they have some supernatural powers. One person can touch an object and know the history that it belonged to. One person can walk through dreams, stuff like that. And essentially, while this is going on, there is this kind of dark supernatural spirit that's essentially wreaking havoc on both the human world and the kind of spiritual ghost world, and it kind of goes off from there. I really loved the third one, and I'm really excited to see how this one will conclude. I've heard really great things of this on Goodreads, so I'm really excited for it, and I feel like this is one where I would have to either reread the books or find a synopsis, so I'm thinking I might hold off on this until the summer and then reread first three books and then read for this one, because they're very complex and there's characters and then you forget things and all that. So I think that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to have to hold out on this one for a little bit, which is a little bit sad, but oh well, it's for the greater good in the long run. And lastly, this is a book that me and my friend are really excited about, and this is going to be our new book club pick. And I feel like it's going to take us a while because this author in general just takes us a while to get through. And it is The House of Earth and Blood by Sarah J. Maas. I don't really know anything about the plot for this. I know there's something with a murder, and that is about it, but it is quite long. It is almost 800 pages, so I feel like this one will take us quite a a while to get through, and whatever it is with Sarah J Maas's writing, I feel like it's very dense and it just takes me a while. I can't like breeze through it. I have to like really kind of read each word. But yeah, I'm excited for this. We bonded, like me and my friend who have this book club, we became friends during our masters, and I was reading Empire of Storm. She's like, oh, what are you reading? And I was explaining this, but I'm like, oh, I like her other trilogy a little bit better. So that's how we kind of became friends, and we've continued with our book club now. So this is our newest pick, and like I said, I feel like it's going to take a while because this book is quite intense, but nevertheless, I'm still really excited. So that's it, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments below what some of the new books you picked up this month were and all of that fun stuff. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, and I will see you guys next time. Bye, guys.